Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to Insight Vibes, the podcast where we celebrate the small moments that make life and love truly magical. I'm Sophia, here with my wonderful co-host Ethan, to take you on a journey of heartbeats, smiles, and stories that remind us why love matters.
Hi, everyone. I'm Ethan, and I'm so happy to have you with us today. Tonight, we're diving into those quiet, tender moments that often go unnoticed. The gestures that are too small to be seen by anyone but their recipient, yet they linger in the heart forever.
That's right. Love isn't always about grand declarations or dramatic gestures. Sometimes it's a glance that says, I see you. A hand on your shoulder, or even a simple cup of coffee waiting for you on a busy morning.
And it's those small things that, over time, build a love that feels enduring, safe, and warm. Imagine the first time someone texted you out of the blue, not with words of love exactly, but just a note saying, "Hey, I thought of you." That tiny gesture can echo for weeks, months, or even years.
Exactly, Ethan. And today we're going to share real-life listener stories, our own experiences, and some thoughtful reflections. We'll talk about presence, mindfulness in relationships, and how digital love fits into our modern lives.
Before we start, I want to invite our listeners to take a moment, maybe even a deep breath, and think about someone who has shown them love in a way that isn't flashy, but just pure and genuine.
Maybe it was a friend, a partner, a parent, or even yourself. Hold that thought, because tonight's stories are all about noticing, appreciating, and celebrating those tender gestures.
And by the end of this episode, we hope you feel inspired to either show love in your own subtle ways or cherish the love that has already touched your life.
So grab a cup of tea, find a comfortable spot, and let's explore the moments that matter, right here on Insight Vibes. So, Ethan, do you remember the first time someone did something so small for you, but it completely melted your heart? Something that didn't cost much, wasn't planned for months, but somehow made you feel seen?
Oh, I remember vividly. It wasn't even a big gesture. My partner at the time left a small note on my desk that said, "Hope your day is as wonderful as you are." I found it during a rough day at work, and I swear, Sophia, it changed my entire mood. That tiny piece of paper carried so much weight.
Exactly. It's funny how these little gestures can leave a lasting impression. For me, one of the most memorable moments was when someone I cared about noticed my favorite flower in a random shop and brought it to me without any reason at all, just because they knew I'd love it.
And that's what makes love so magical, right? It's not about how expensive or grand the gesture is, but the thoughtfulness behind it. It's a constant reminder that someone sees you, truly sees you.
It's also about consistency. When someone makes small gestures every day, it builds trust and security. It's not flashy, but it's enduring. Like sending a quick text in the morning just to say, "Good morning, thinking of you." Or holding the door open without being asked.
Absolutely. And listeners, we sometimes forget that these tiny acts are the backbone of meaningful relationships. They're like drops of water filling a bucket. Eventually, they create something substantial and beautiful.
I love that analogy. I also think small surprises bring joy not just to the recipient, but to the person giving them. There's something incredibly rewarding about seeing someone's eyes light up because of a small act of kindness.
Totally. It's like planting seeds. Each thoughtful act grows into a deeper connection, a shared memory, or simply a smile that lasts longer than you'd expect.
Let me share a personal story. One evening, I was feeling a little down, exhausted from work, and just overwhelmed. I walked into my apartment, and there on the kitchen counter was a little plate of my favorite cookies, with a note that said, "For my favorite person in the world."
Wow, Sophia, that's heartwarming.
It was. And it wasn't about the cookies themselves. It was The thought, the timing, and the awareness that someone noticed I needed a lift. That gesture made me feel loved and appreciated in a way that words sometimes can't convey.
Listeners, I want to highlight something here. These gestures, notes, cookies, songs, texts, a small touch, they all communicated, I care, I notice you, you matter. And that's the essence of romantic love, especially in the modern age where everything moves so fast.
Exactly. And it's also why paying attention is key. Love isn't just about being with someone, it's about noticing them, understanding them, and acting in ways that show that understanding.
And that brings me to another personal example. One time, I noticed my partner stressed about an upcoming project. So, without asking, I prepared a little relaxation kit, a candle, a playlist, and a handwritten note saying, "You've got this, and I'm right here with you."
So thoughtful.
It was small, really, but it made a huge difference. That's what I love about small gestures. They're subtle, but meaningful.
Listeners, here's something I want you to reflect on. Think about a small gesture someone did for you that left a lasting impact. It doesn't have to be romantic. It could be a friend, a family member, or even a stranger. Hold on to that feeling for a moment. That's the power of small acts of love.
Yes, and maybe, just maybe, you can return that energy. Send that text, leave that note, make that cup of tea, or simply listen. Because love grows exponentially through small, intentional acts.
And over time, those small gestures compound. They become stories, memories, and a foundation for something deeper, something enduring.
Exactly. And that's what tonight's episode is really about. Noticing the small things, appreciating them, and letting them guide how we love and connect with others.
So stay tuned because after this segment, we're diving into some real listener stories that perfectly illustrate how tiny gestures create unforgettable love memories.
Listeners, we've received some wonderful stories from you, and we can't wait to share a few. Here's one from Sophie in New York. My boyfriend knows I love to read. One day, I came home from work to find a small notebook on my table. Inside, he had written down his favorite quotes, little poems, and memories we shared. I realized he didn't just love me, he noticed me.
So heartwarming. It's such a simple thing, but it shows so much thought, care, and attention. Sometimes noticing the small details says more than any grand gesture ever could.
Exactly, Sophia. Real love is about presence and mindfulness in relationships. These gestures are like a thread weaving two lives closer together.
I also love how this story illustrates that love is not just words. Sometimes it's written down, held in your hands, tangible and personal. That's why little things like this linger in your memory forever.
Listeners, take a moment to imagine if someone created a small notebook like that for you. Imagine the thought, the time, and the attention. That's what makes relationships rich, the accumulation of small, intentional actions.
Here's another story from Alex in Toronto. It was raining hard, and I forgot my umbrella. My partner ran outside, got completely soaked, and came back with a big smile and a towel. They just held me and laughed. That night, I realized love is about showing up, even when it's inconvenient.
That story is so real. Love is showing up. It's not about perfect timing or ideal circumstances. Sometimes it's messy, wet, and inconvenient, and that's exactly when it matters most.
Yes, and it shows that love is about care, commitment, and consistency. Small sacrifices often communicate more than words ever could.
And it also reminds us that laughter in these moments makes love stronger. Facing the rain together, literally and metaphorically, builds connection.
And here's a brand new story from a listener named Priya in London. I was having a stressful night, feeling overwhelmed with work. Around midnight, I got a message from my partner. I know today was tough, but I believe in you. Don't forget to breathe. I'm here for you. Just a few sentences, but it made me cry. That tiny message reminded me I wasn't alone.
Wow, that's so powerful. You see, it's not always about grand gestures. Sometimes love is a text at the right time, a gentle reminder that someone sees you and cares.
Exactly. And this brings up an important point for our listeners. We live in a digital age where we can communicate in so many ways: texts, calls, video chats, and even a small note can have a huge emotional impact.
And the best part is that these moments are so personal. It's not for anyone else to see. It's private, intimate, and meaningful to the people involved. That's the